You know, I love architecture. Kim and I obviously have chosen housing as our life's path. And one of the things that it always gets me about Seattle is just how freaking boring Seattle architecture can be. And the fact that we have so many issues, just like coming to grips with the fact that we are a large city and density is the only path forward for affordability. I can get into it. But every once in a while, we meet someone who also just has the same passion. So our friend Andrew is an architect here in Seattle. He has some incredible ideas about how to add more color to Seattle and more culture, and also just how we can marry that idea of like high design, sustainability, and affordability, and how we can do those together. We also had a really great conversation about ADUs and dadus, which is basically backyard cottages. So stay tuned, grab yourself a cup of coffee, because every good conversation starts with coffee.
What I'm passionate about in Seattle? Well, definitely the environment. It is something that I usually try and involve in some way in all the designs that I do, whether it be really creating frames of some of the excellent views that we have, especially the mountains, or really trying to bring and connect the indoors with a sense of culture and passion to all of the work that I do. As much as I have a lot of respect for many of the architects who have been here quite a while and like to stick to things that are very grounded, I would say pretty muted in colors, I think it's time to really change things up. It's really a moment where we need to recognize that the people that we're serving and the people that we want to serve are not just boring recluses that want to stay in their home and sip their coffee all day. We have people who want to be outside. We have people who want to engage. We have people who have culture and ethnicity, and we're not a monolith. And so being able to have that diversity, color, pattern, these are things that are currently lacking in a lot of our buildings. And I am so excited to be able to be a part of bringing that to our physical environment. I would say that my favorite kind of architecture is easy to understand for people. So you can argue minimalism in some ways, but that also has a sense of character that really expresses either the owner, the client, or even the brand that it is supposed to be evocative of. Heartwood is this really exciting mass timber project that is done by Atelier Jones and is not just about using cross-laminated timber, the most sustainable technology that we have right now that's going to help us build the housing that we need more sustainably. But it's also something where this is a local woman-led firm that is using materials that are created locally to be able to support our local community in such a great way. We have opportunities for all of these projects to happen because currently we have a limited amount of land that you could do large housing projects, or even, we'll say small scale, 20 units, 30 units, where you have market rate and subsidized housing competing for that same land, which drives up the cost. And so if we actually allow for more space for all these projects to happen across the entire city, that brings the cost down for everyone, and everyone will benefit. So frustrating when you have people who clearly recognize that there is a problem and yet they say no to every single proposed solution. You have to say yes to something. Clearly what we're doing right now is not working, so let's design a new solution. I think that the proposal to do the equity development initiative that would have added somewhere between 30 to 35 projects, and we're talking 35 projects max for this pilot, was excellent because you have a lot of these community-based organizations, BIPOC-led organizations who want to do this work, who want to be able to provide space for these people, and yet the city is not allowing them to do so. And that is frustrating. To do with the major comprehensive plan and really being able to see density and specifically so many new homes and opportunities to create community over the next few decades. I think that although the proposed plan is not that great, there definitely was this really coalition building and really consensus between everyone across Seattle that we need significantly more housing, and we can do it in a way that actually improves everyone's life, that you're able to go to a coffee shop and happens to be downstairs from where you live, or you're able to drop off your dry cleaners and it's just around the corner. And while you're doing that, you actually run into friends of yours because they live in the neighborhood. They're able to afford to live in the neighborhood. There are going to be so many exciting new opportunities and ways that we're going to become a better city by allowing space for more people here. So I would say in terms of what we have available right now that is ideal for development, you're probably looking at something that's between 6,000 to 9,000 square feet and has the ability to have at least 2 ADUs. And that's most of those properties, but what you're really looking for is something where you can add on to the existing home that's there. You can also have plenty of space for a backyard detached ADU. And by doing that, what you're really doing is focusing more on creating flatter versions of homes. So basically your single story solutions. And that is something where it's going to be even more attractive for people that are either getting up in age, looking to downsize, someone who really needs something that's a little more accessible and does not want to go up and down stairs all day. Diva Land. My name is Andrew Grant Houston, also known as Ace the Architect, and I am the founder and head of design for House Cosmopolitan, an architecture practice focused on housing and creating places where people belong.